Okay, in today's video, we're going to talk about how to research pre-foreclosures that you find on Zillow. We're going to go through about 4 or 5 different examples. I'm going to take them directly from Zillow's site under their pre-foreclosures in my area, and we're going to go through and look and see exactly where these properties stand. And hopefully, if you watch the end of the video, you're going to see why I consider Zillow pre-foreclosures nothing but eye candy. It's a revenue stream. It's a way for them to make money, just more leads, get more clicks, etc. But these properties are unreliable, as you'll see. So let's get started. Okay, we're on the main page for Zillow's pre-foreclosures for here in Pensacola, Florida. All I'm looking for is for sale properties and pre-foreclosures. That's it. Nothing else is checked. I only want to look at the pre-foreclosures. And what is interesting right off the bat is it says there's 174 results. So there's 174 what Zillow considers pre-foreclosures right now in Pensacola, Florida. That seems like a lot to me, but I think as we go through these examples, you're going to see exactly how and why so many of these listings are just total BS. They are. I mean, frankly, they're just ridiculous. Nothing but eye candy. So I'm going to go through. I'm going to pick a couple of these kind of at random. There's 1 or 2 of these that I want to do the research on anyway for a client of mine and for somebody who asked, just so they can kind of see as an example of what I'm talking about. One thing I can tell you, and this is a tip I'll go ahead and give you in the very beginning of the video, but as you're going through these, you'll see these days that Zillow's reported this, like 168, okay? 160. Oh, I think I might have my parameters set somewhere on here to under 180 days only. Maybe, I'm not sure if I have or not. But anyway, anytime these days are this high, I can almost guarantee you that the chances of it being realistic a foreclosure is not going to happen. And you're going to see why through our examples. So let's go ahead and jump in the first one and get started. The first property I want to start out with is 1705 Beachside Drive. Now I picked this one because I used this in a previous video, but it has a really unique situation, so I wanted to use it again in this video. Plus, I had a client ask me about it, so I thought I would kind of go over it again, and it'll be the first one of a few examples we're going to use today. So you want to go to your local county property appraiser's website, because we want to find out and we want to pull the owner's name to start with. We need the owner's name to do our research to find out basically what status the property's in as far as foreclosure is concerned. Because you've got to remember, just because it's on Zillow's pre-foreclosure doesn't mean diddly squat. Honestly, I've seen one where they were, I think, 10 days late on a payment somehow, and they got notified and ended up on Zillow. It's nuts. Okay, once we have our address in, we're just going to search. And like I said, first step, we're looking for the owner's name. So we can go to the clerk of the court's website next and pull up their information and see what's been done as far as foreclosure. Okay, so what I normally do, I'll just take and copy and paste. And I keep a little notepad handy. And I'm just going to just put that there, and we have our name. And real quick, I'm going to check and just see if anything has happened. Our website's pretty good about showing some of the more important information. So it doesn't show anything since 09. And if we look at this deed, I'm sure it's going to just be the purchase. Okay, yeah, it's just the warranty deed right here from basically this Jill person basically sold it to Derek here, because grantees receive and grantors give. So seller, buyer. So that was all that was, which makes sense. Okay, the next step, you just want to go to your county's Clerk of the Court's website so you can pull up the lawsuits against the homeowner. And ours is Online Public Records. And this is where you're going to look for what's been filed against the homeowner. Here in Florida, the first thing I'm going to be looking for is the list pendants, then the final judgment. It's almost guaranteed with the amount of days that the list pendants has been filed, but a lot of these won't have a final judgment yet. They won't be to that point. Actually, a lot of them won't. Alright, what I like to do is I just like to go ahead and put mine in order of year. So, alright, right off the bat, I mean, this tells me everything. List pendants, modification of mortgage. So, basically, this is not going to be a foreclosure. Not right now, because the last thing recorded was a modification. If it's going to go to foreclosure, then there's going to be a final judgment with date and final judgment amount, all that kind of stuff, and there's not. So this tells me right here that this homeowner is not going into foreclosure right now. So this is a good example that I would scratch this one off the list and I would not be worrying about it or looking at it anymore. Here you go. Modification agreement. Alright, so let's go on to the next one. Okay, the next property we're going to look at is this one right here. Now, what I did, I went ahead and sorted for price highest to low. They don't have an option for oldest days on the market. I don't know why, I wish they did, but anyway, price highest to low, and according to their 174 results, this 483 is the highest valued property. So we're going to check out 5485 Bob O. Link Road and see what the deal on it is. Okay, I got my name typed in, or my address typed in there, and hopefully that'll be enough to pull it up. Generally it is. If not, I'll go no, right, it's good enough. So, okay, here's a good example and a good point I want to make. Do you see how long this owner's name is? This is perfect because this is going to pull up exactly this person. There's not going to be two people that have, four basically names in county records, with the last, the first, middle initial, and the junior. So that's actually makes it a little bit easier. So I'm going back to my Clerk of the Court's website because I got to find what's been filed against the homeowner. Okay, and just out of habit, and this is what I like to do, I want to put mine in order just to see what the latest thing is recorded, and there we go. A year ago, list pendants. Okay, so there's nothing been recorded after the list pendants. There's no final judgment, so this is actually a legitimate pre-foreclosure. So, alright, they got this one. Now, one thing while I'm thinking about it, let's look, because how many days? This one has 358 days. Let's look and just see. Maybe I can figure out why. Well, I mean, they've had stuff going on with this mortgage and whatever look at all this. Yeah, so, okay. I can see how they got 358 in this property. There's a ton of stuff here. This is a legitimate one. Actually, it was pretty easy for them to get this one right. So, let's go on and look at the next one. Hey, one thing I wanted you to notice as I'm looking through these properties, look at these days on Zillow. 287. 328. 252, that's the one we did earlier. Beachside. 257. So, good grief. 359, I mean, don't know. It's kind of crazy. Okay, the last property I want to do today is going to be this one right here, 8504 Nantucket. The reason I picked this one, a couple of things. Number one, it's listed on auction.com. It's listed as a pre-foreclosure, and it's only been 1 day on Zillow. These three things, something doesn't make a lot of sense, especially if it's showing up on auction.com and it's 1 day on Zillow. So let's check this one out and kind of see what's going on and where it stands. I've got a feeling since it's on auction.com, we should have a final judgment already, which should give us basically a payoff amount for the foreclosure, and most importantly, the actual sales date. See, it didn't really give us much. Yeah, that's about right. Okay, so let's go. First things first, let's go jump on our county records and pull the owner's name and info. Okay, we just want to copy and paste. The owner's name. Then we go to my clerk of the court website. And we're looking for list pendants and final judgment recording. I would be shocked if this house does not have a final judgment. But then again, it doesn't explain why it's only 1 day on Zillow. Just more reasons why a lot of this stuff on here makes no sense. Well, we got stuff back in '96. Bam, I knew it. List pendants and final judgment. So, yeah, this is definitely a pre-foreclosure. Now, I don't see anything recorded after the final judgment, so it doesn't look like anything's been recorded to pass ownership to the bank or third party. There's no certificate of title or deed in lieu or anything else recorded. So let's check out real quick, since this is the first one we had an example of the final judgment. In case you haven't watched my video on what a final judgment is, I'll include a link above. You can click on and watch it. It's really good because this is probably the most important thing of foreclosure in my opinion. Yeah, we got 106 balance. Yeah, and interest, oof. So there's going to be more interest tacked onto this because this is only through February 21st. Okay, so let's find the foreclosure sales date. Okay, here it is right here. So it was supposed to foreclose on the 22nd of April, which it hasn't. So that just means that it is a pre-foreclosure. The mortgage company has not taken it back yet. And so let's go jump on auction.com and see what it says real quick. Okay, I just went to auction.com and put in Pensacola, Florida. It pulls up 19 properties. So I'm looking for our Nantucket. Here it is. November 3rd sales date. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. It's a few months off. That's really interesting. Okay, so I wanted to just go inside the property, and it's got 82 views. Just see what it says here. Oh, wait a minute. Location, clerk of the court. Conducted by... Oh, this is the actual foreclosure sale. So that's the foreclosure attorney, I'm sure. That's really interesting. It's kind of new to me. I'm not sure I've seen this before. So auction.com has it on their website. it's not being auctioned by auction.com. Location's a Escambia County Clerk of the Court. So this is the actual foreclosure sale. Now, I'll have to do some backtracking and see, get on the actual Escambia County foreclosure site and see if I can look at this property and see if it's actually scheduled for November 3rd. But anyway, really interesting. That's why I've got to analyze and look at each one of these properties. You just never know. But stay away from auction.com is my opinion too, unless you find a deal that's just way, way too good to be true, and you can afford the 10% fee you have to pay on it. Anyway, I appreciate you watching the video. If you liked it, please hit the like button. If you have any questions, just hit me up. I'll be glad to answer them. And if you haven't, just hit the subscribe button, please. It helps me out a lot, and I really appreciate it. Hey, have a great day, and thanks.